On the occasion of Swabhiman Parv, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has written an article reflecting on the story of the Somnath Temple, its destruction, its rebuilding, and an enduring message of faith and resilience. Recalling India's fight for faith and justice, Prime Minister Modi wrote that the first attack on Somnath took place 1000 years ago, 1026 AD. Yet, 1000 years later, the temple stands in renewed glory at Prabhas Patan in Gujarat. He described Somnath as an eternal symbol of India's soul. He further wrote that despite repeated invasions, the temple was rebuilt again and again. He called this a testament to the courage and devotion of people of India. The Prime Minister noted that 2026 will mark the 75th year since the restored temple was opened to devotees after independence. The present structure was completed in 1951, guided by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and reopened in the presence of President Rajendra Prasad. Prime Minister Modi wrote that Somnath's story is not just about a temple, but also about the unbreakable spirit of Bharat and about those who protected the nation's culture and civilization through the centuries. He credited Sardar Patel for taking the decision to rebuild Somnath despite objections from then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. He also paid tribute to the Queen of Malwa, Ahilyabai Holkar, and Swami Vivekananda for their role in preserving India's heritage. He recalled the attack by Mahmud of Ghazni in 1026 and said that while those aggressors are now only dust in the wind, Somnath still stands tall as India's civilizational strength. So my question is, why has Prime Minister chosen to write an article on Somnath? How important is rejuvenation of ancient Hindu sites for Hindutva? From Kashi to Ayodhya to Somnath, is there a big picture? On this issue, I am joined by Arun Anand, author and senior journalist. Thank you, Arun, for joining me. Arun, why has Prime Minister chosen to write this article on Somnath?
I think he has decided to write an article on Somnath. It is not basically, an aberration, or it is not something extraordinary, I would say. It is in continuation of what he has been doing. He has, see, it is an extension of the Ram Janmabhoomi Temple movement. What they did at for Sangh Parivar, for Narendra Modi, who has been an RSS Pracharak, temples or, Somnath Temple or Kashi Vishwanath or Ram Temple. So wherever this struggle with the Muslim invaders happened, so they are the symbols of a civilizational struggle. As Samuel Huntington had said, that, clash of the civilizations. So it's a symbol of clash of the civilizations. On one hand, you have a set of values represented by Hindu Dharma, which believe in coexistence, whose replica was, or whose, which was represented by Somnath Temple, which is represented by Ram Temple. And on the other hand, you have a civilization of invaders, which believe in a civilizational value that if you will not follow my route of worship or my way of worship, then you do not have any right to exist, on this earth. So I think this is why, and this is a narrative which they are setting. See, it is beyond religion, and especially, you look at basically what BJP is doing. BJP is consciously building up a younger leadership and appealing to Gen Z. BJP, what will appeal to Gen Z? Something that will appeal to Gen Z will be basically, a civilizational discussion, a civilizational narrative. They would not be interested in a narrative which is, wrapped around religion. Correct. Because that has never been the essence of,
Correct, absolutely. But do you also feel, Arun, that somehow what makes unique in the larger overview of Prime Minister is the rejuvenation of the ancient cultural sites that have happened in the last 11 years. Something which got neglected in 60s, 70s and 80s, especially when, Purushottam Das Tandon, Rajendra Prasad, Sardar Patel, the senior leadership, when it went away, some passed away, some went outside the Congress, those aspects got relegated to side. And what he has done is, for example, if you look at the Kashi, the entire area, has been done again. Ayodhya has been built again. Though There is no similar thrust in Mathura, but a lot of those rebuilding has happened. Somnath has undergone quite a change.
See, there are two things. When BJP was in opposition, and for a very long time, when it was a left-dominated narrative, so BJP and other, ideological mentees of Sangh, so they were largely building a counter narrative. So, but these are the defining movements. Now they are building a narrative.
Yes.
This is not a counter narrative.
Yes.
So, and now the opposition is opposition has been put. And when I say opposition, I'm not talking only about the political opposition. I'm talking about the people who are opposed ideologically to this government, to the idea of Hindutva. So they are now the tables have turned. So now they have to build a counter narrative. So this, I think this is what is a significant shift, and that is why when Narendra Modi writes an article as Prime Minister of the country on Somnath Temple, he is not countering somebody. He is building up a basically narrative, because for very long, I'll tell you, there has been an internal discussion within the whole Sangh Parivar also, and especially when we completed 75 years of independence, that for 75 long years we have been busy building a counter narrative. But now when the party is in power, when Hindutva has taken a center stage, the point is, what is our narrative or what is their narrative? So this construction of the Ram Temple, the way it was, all the ceremonies were held, Somnath Temple, you have seen, as you rightly mentioned, rejuvenation of a lot of other places also, Kedarnath, Mahakal in Ujjain. So when you look at, Tamil Sangam, which is happening in Banaras, so all these things, so this is the building of the narrative of Hindutva. Now we'll have to see how basically the...
But hasn't the life come a full circle? In 1950s, Jawaharlal Nehru is saying that, why are politicians involved in this? And it should be, done at the level of civil society. And the Prime Minister writing on Somnath's value as a cultural heritage, a cultural symbol, a place of resilience of the Indian soul, and Nehru treating it with a distant arm. And Rajendra Prasad and Patel, they went ahead and organized the entire fund collection and got Somnath renovated. Life comes a full circle.
See, Karthikeya, it's a clear-cut ideological divide between all those who, though I don't like to talk in binaries, but who are not left of the center, I would say, and those basically who are at left of the center. So people like Nehru and other people who are left of the center, they always considered India as born after 1947, and it needs to be, they looked at it from the Western lens of the nation state. Whereas people like Sardar Patel, Purushottam Tandon, and and now Narendra Modi, so they look at India from the not the Western lens of nation state. They look at it from the lens of that we are a civilizational nation. We are not a nation state, just like the European nations were.
Yes.
Nation states were created post 1789 French Revolution.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.